If we know what causes abuse, we can prevent it. Power struggles, responding inappropriately to individuals. But before that, there are other undercurrents in caregiving that we tend not to recognize. We walk into a house, we walk into a living area, good morning, how are you, how are things, and look around and leave, and are no wiser for what we've seen or not seen. If a professional or manager visits a caregiving site, they tend to make it a visit. Good morning, how are you today, how's your day going? That's not the purpose of their visit. The purpose of their visit is to observe the care that's being given to the men and women. And in so doing, assess how the caregivers are managing themselves and working through the situation, and how the men and women are responding to it. You're looking at both groups. I walked into the house and a staff member was engaged in a contest of wills at a bedroom door. The staff member is trying to close the door, the person on the other side is trying to open the door, and the staff member is screaming at this person, sit down on your bed and count, sit down on your bed and count. Somebody come up with this idea that when this person gets upset, she should be taken to her room, told to sit down and count to 10. Her complete vocabulary is probably about 30 or 40 words. The caregiver is having difficulty holding the door, and every once in a while the consumer will make some progress on the door, and she strip off a piece of clothing and throwing at it. So as I'm walking in, I see a shoe come flying out the door and a blouse. At this point, I just walk up to the caregiver and I just stand there. She's completely unaware, she's so engaged in this, and I said, excuse me. What? She didn't know who was talking to her. It could have been the President of the United States. She didn't care. What? You're bothering me. Don't you see I'm in this conflict? I said, softly, stop. And she whirled around and looked at me and asked the question that all professionals, managers, and supervisors dread. What do you want me to do? We don't insert ourselves in situations like that because we don't want to be asked that question. But the beauty of what we're talking about is the utter simplicity of it. I want you to help her calm down. What would she like to do now? What would in any way distract her from this contest you've been in and help soothe her emotions? The response was, well, she likes tea, but I'm not going to give her tea after she's been acting like that because that would reinforce undesirable behavior. And I said, that's exactly what I want you to do.